Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, February 25th until Sunday, March 3rd, 2019. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Angel Tarot deck, and your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Archangel Divination deck. So this week brings us into a new month, the month of March, which has a whole different energy than February. So you'll want to make sure also to go onto my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch the monthly angel card reading for the month of March, which should be up shortly. Let's go ahead and take a look at your stones of choice for this week. So your first stone of choice is a beautiful amethyst. Now, amethyst is this beautiful purple stone relating to the crown chakra, higher awareness, higher guidance, a download of information. It helps with dreams. It helps with attaining a state of peace, and it's great for meditation. Your second stone of choice is this beautiful moonstone. Now, moonstone does come in all different kind of colors. This one is a beautiful creamy white moonstone. This is going to relate to the solar plexus chakra, which is your center of intuition. So this stone helps with your psychic abilities, with your healing abilities. It helps with that nurturing, mothering kind of energy. And then your last stone of choice is this beautiful lapis. Lapis relates to the third eye chakra. And this is going to open up again your psychic senses, especially clairvoyance and even into the clairaudience. The ear chakras are also, related to that color blue, just like the indigo blue of the third eye chakra. This is also a great stone to kind of help you to tap into the mystery teachings. So again, your stones of choice are the amethyst, the moonstone, and the lapis. So let's go ahead and talk about the astrology for the week. Now, one of the reasons why I chose the beautiful moonstone here is because we have a lot of things going on with the moon, which I don't always talk about. But because there was not a lot of other planetary aspects, I decided to talk a little bit more about the moon this week because the moon is doing some interesting things. Now, on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 26th and 27th of February, we have the moon in Sagittarius, which is this wonderful, inspirational, optimistic, expansive kind of energy, freedom energy. And the moon, of course, is our emotional nature. So we're adding that kind of expansiveness, freedom, inspiration to our emotional nature there. But the moon on Tuesday and Wednesday is challenging the sun, Neptune, and Mercury, all in Pisces, and connecting with Jupiter, also in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, the sun rules our identity, Neptune rules the spiritual realm and things unseen, and Mercury, which is probably one of the most important things in this particular aspect for Tuesday and Wednesday, is Mercury rules the mental realm. And the reason why this is important is because next week, in just a few days, Mercury will be going into its retrograde motion in the sign of Pisces, where it will be for most of the month, or I should say almost all of the month of March. It usually goes retrograde for about 3 weeks, but even the time when it's shifting directions, either shifting to go retrograde or shifting to go back to direct motion, we have to take into account the shadow period on either side. So we might as well say the whole month of March we have Mercury in retrograde, and because Mercury rules our thoughts, our communications, our ideas, the way we think, it's going to bring up some miscommunication and, faulty kind of ways of thinking. And Jupiter, of course, in there, that's the moon is connecting with. Jupiter rules our belief systems, and Jupiter has this expansive nature to it. So whatever touches Jupiter, it's made bigger. It seems bigger. And so because we have, the moon connecting with Jupiter and again, expanding into this very inspirational and can be, again, very positive and optimistic energy, but because it's challenging the Sun, Neptune, and Mercury all in Pisces, there's a couple things that may happen. One is, again, because Mercury is slowing down to its retrograde point, it's going to cause some judgments. It's going to cause some over opinionated kind of ideas or communications with people, miscommunication with people, unclarity, because that Pisces energy is, again, of the spiritual realm and not always the most grounded or focused. So there might be a lot of, again, miscommunication or things not understood, which is why if you're communicating with somebody and it's something very important, you want to reiterate what you're hearing, and also repeating what they're saying and making sure that you're understanding what other people are trying to communicate to you as well. Now, this can also, because the moon, again, rules our emotions and rules the subconscious, and it does rule intuition. And Pisces is a sign of the zodiac that can, definitely rule all of the psychic senses. So this can actually expand with that Jupiter there. It can expand our psychic senses, our ability to meditate, our ability to tap in, our ability to understand things from a spiritual or a higher perspective. But again, it's a challenging aspect. So again, you want to just make sure that you're clearly hearing, seeing, feeling, or knowing, or understanding the messages, the guidance from the spiritual realm that you're receiving. Okay, now we're going to go to Friday, the 1st of March. This is the first day of March. So again, a whole brand new energy for March that I'll talk about in the monthly angel card reading. But on the 1st of March, we have Venus, and it's challenging Uranus. Now, Uranus is at that very last degree of Aries. It's been at that last degree of Aries for a little while now, a few days, because Uranus is a slower moving planet. However, again, next week, just like Mercury next week is going to go retrograde, Uranus next week is going to move into the sign of Taurus, where it will be for the next 7 years. So it's at that very last, that last little bit of Aries, that 29th degree of Aries. And whenever we have a planet at the 29th degree, it heightens the energy. So with Uranus, expect the unexpected. We have strange and unusual occurrences, strange and unusual weather. We have freedom energy, independence energies, especially as it's in Aries, the sign of independence. And with Venus, the planet of love, relationships, finances, and money, and a challenging aspect to Uranus, even though it's a challenge, we still might expect, again, the unexpected. We might have some sort of windfall of something monetarily that comes in. We might have a sudden shift in something in one of our relationships or partnerships, whether they be romantic or business or otherwise. But this can also, again, bring up some challenges. This might be where something is cut loose and something is cut free. This is possibly with relationship where there's some sort of freedom from some sort of connection that you have. In finances or money, there might be an expense that comes in that you didn't expect. And, therefore, you have to be prepared for, whatever it is that Uranus is bringing here. Now, also on the 1st, Friday the 1st, right after Venus connects with Uranus in that square or challenging aspect, which, by the way, is at 7:31 a.m. Eastern Time, which means we're going to be feeling that Venus approaching Uranus square challenge on Thursday, potentially even Wednesday, because it happens so early in the morning here in the United States. We're going to be feeling this and experiencing this through events and situations on Thursday and possibly even Wednesday and not just Friday. But right after Venus challenges Uranus, it's going to move into the sign of Aquarius, which is where she's going to be until March 26th. So she's not there very long. She's only there for about 26 days. But Venus in Aquarius, she's going to be more independent. She's going to be much more of a humanitarian. She's going to be much more about equality. She's going to be much more scientific and progressive in both, again, relationship areas and in finances areas. And then also on Friday, we're going to go back to the moon. The moon is now in Capricorn and going to be connecting with both Saturn and Pluto also on Friday. Now, the moon and Pluto is not the best place for the moon because the moon wants to be all lovey and emotional and nurturing, and Capricorn is very businesslike and very structured and, let's get things done and let's focus on our career and our life path. With it connecting to Saturn and Pluto, there could potentially be feelings of being emotionally drained or usurped of emotional energy or feeling a little bit down emotionally or going through some sort of emotional transformation. But it can also help to bring some sort of structure or like the next steps and the building blocks to like something with business, something, a goal that you're working on. And again, it can bring some sort of transformation to that project, that business, that goal. So again, you know, these energies can be utilized or felt, in potentially more than one way. And then on Saturday, the moon continues to be in Capricorn and challenges Uranus and Aries, still at that last degree of Aries. Then the moon will shift into Aquarius and connect with Venus. And then on Sunday the 3rd, the moon in Aquarius will challenge Mars, which is now in Taurus. So, you know, what is that all about? You know, with the moon challenging Uranus and then on Sunday challenging Mars and Taurus, there again could be some frustration energies emotionally. People will be more emotionally reactive, especially on Saturday with the moon challenging Uranus. Now, when the moon shifts into Aquarius and connects with Venus, that can be a nice energy, especially for the divine feminine, because the moon is a very feminine energy. Venus is the ruler of the divine feminine. Again, that Aquarius energy is very much the humanitarian. This is a great energy for getting involved in groups, connecting with groups, meeting with groups, especially women groups or, you know, people of like mind. It doesn't necessarily have to be women. But again, then as we move into Sunday with the moon challenging Mars, again, people can be a little bit frustrated with their energies. So let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides from the tarot deck. Okay, so the first card we have is the Seven of Air. This is the Seven of Swords in the traditional tarot. The Seven of Air says, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. Well, you know, that poor timing piece, and this is not a long-term thing, but remember, Mercury is in its shadow and getting very close within a few days of turning to retrograde motion. And whenever we have a Mercury retrograde, again, miscommunication, not a great time to start a business, not a great time to sign documents, whether it's for a new home, a new car, a new computer. It's not great for making important investments or important purchases, especially those of electronics. Mercury kind of, again, ruling the mental realm, kind of rules all of that electronic kind of equipment. And with Mercury being in Pisces, that elusive sign of Pisces, it may be very difficult, you know, to figure out where the challenges lie within, say, the electronics, the phones, the computers, etc. But again, all in all, this can be just not a great time to start something new or, you know, again, sign any contracts or anything like that. Now, the number 7 is a very internal number numerologically. It can sometimes have some difficulties with trust and faith. So there may be some sort of lack of trust and faith going on here. You might be getting caught up in a mind loop with the air or the sword suit here. Your mind is kind of, you know, kind of stuck on something. Sort of like a hamster in a hamster wheel where you keep on going round and round and you kind of ruminate on something. So I feel like, again, there might be a lack of trust and faith on the mental level with something. And just like it says, plans may need revision. That's, you know, what Mercury retrograde is famous about. Now, that's a good thing when we have a Mercury retrograde and we need to revise our plans, because it means that something isn't quite right or there's more information that's coming in. And that's what this card means too. There's more information. We don't have all the puzzle pieces yet. There's something more that we need to know before making that final decision or, you know, again, signing that contract or buying that thing or whatever it might be. Now, if you can't wait, then, you know, it is what it is, and that's okay. Everything is in divine timing. But if you can wait, it's probably better to do so. All right, let's take a look at this second card that came out with the first card. Maybe we'll have additional information. The Queen of Earth. And the Queen of Earth says thoughtful, gentle, creative. I put the gentle in there for some reason, so that must have been intuitive. Thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. And at the bottom it says, make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. Especially those last two statements with the Seven of Air, since it comes out with the Seven of Air. Deal with challenges in an understanding manner. Have patience, in other words. I feel like, you know, this week we're going to have patience. We're going to maybe deal with some challenges, especially on the mental level from what we're seeing to start out with. And like it says, take a sensible approach. So, don't get caught up in that mind loop. Be practical. The Queen of Earth, the Earth suit is very practical, grounded, focused. So here we might need to aspire towards attaining a little bit more of a sense of groundedness and focus as we start out the week, and probably as we move throughout this week and potentially move throughout the month with the Mercury retrograde. Okay, let's take a look at the second card. And the second card is the Five of Air. So we have another air card here. And the Five of Air, the Five of Swords in the traditional tarot, at the bottom it says, an unwise choice, learn what you can from this situation and review everyone's motives. Now the number 5 in numerology can be very chaotic. It can be very busy. It means there's a lot going on. And again, we're in the air suit, so this is on the mental realm. There's a lot going on in our head. There's a lot of things that maybe we need to get done. And this, to me, feels a little unorganized. The 7, again, is more self-reflective and can be more organized, but again, gets caught up in lacking trust and faith and getting caught up in this mind loop. And the 5 of Air gets caught up in anxiety and nervous tension. And this also can sway us from being grounded and practical, just like the Queen of Earth wants us to be, a little bit more practical and grounded and deal with those challenges, in a more focused and understanding manner. So this is telling me that, that it might be a little bit more difficult. We might need to spend a little bit more time meditating, being out in nature. The Earth card here, to me, the Queen of Earth would symbolize being out in nature, being grounded in nature. That helps our energy to be a little bit more clear, a little bit more balanced, with the 7 and 5 of Air here, kind of causing this internal and external anxiety on a mental level this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last card. Okay, this is a very different card. This is the 3 of Fire, the 3 of Wands in the traditional tarot. And the number 3 is a very expansive number. How I talked about the moon in Sagittarius being very expansive and inspirational and optimistic. This kind of goes back to the moon in Sagittarius at the beginning of the week. Now the message at the bottom of this card says abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. I think that's a key phrase here. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. So again, this is telling us that something good is coming. Whatever it is you're working on. If you're working on something career-wise, maybe changing your career, adding something to your business, maybe a new business. You're working on, something within the home and family, or maybe in finances. Especially, this can be very much a business card and bringing in abundance. However, again, we have to have a little bit of patience here as we work through some of the Mercury retrograde energies, as we work through or past some of the Piscean energies that we're in the month of March with all of these planets in Pisces. It's going to probably be when we move into the spring equinox, when the sun moves into Aries, when some of these other planets like Mercury gets out of its retrograde in Pisces, and then in April moves into Aries. So this is about taking the steps that you need to make those long-term plans that you're working on, and know that good things are coming. Again, expansiveness is coming, abundance is coming. The number 3 rules abundance, prosperity, blessings. And this card looks like there's a lot of blessings here. We have a lot of beautiful oranges and golds and reds. These are the lower 3 chakras. This is our sense of security at the base chakra, the root chakra with that red. Our sense of feeling passionate about something with the orange, the sacral chakra. And our sense of willpower, our sense of confidence and courage about forging ahead with our solar plexus chakra. So there's definitely good things coming. Just know that they may not materialize in this week, and potentially may not materialize until we move into, again, that Aries energy, or into the month of April when we get out of this Mercury retrograde. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card, depending on your stone of choice. So let me just give this a little shuffle here. This is, again, the Archangel Divination deck. Okay, and even though I'm shuffling it off camera, I'm going to shuffle it a little bit more here for you. And for those of you that chose the amethyst, asking for the amethyst. This one's poking out and kind of catching my eye. Amethyst people prioritize with Archangel Metatron. Well, that makes a lot of sense. We need to prioritize what we're doing. We need to write down a list of our goals. We need to, write down the steps that we need to take perhaps for this month to get to wherever it is we want to go in whatever area of life. Now, this says, focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. So Archangel Metatron was the scribe. He was one of the two archangels that had an earthly life. And so as a scribe in his earthly life, before he became an archangel, he wrote, he wrote down things. And so this is about, again, this prioritizing thing. I feel like, again, making a list, and maybe not just a mental list because of the 5 of air here. I mean, you could maybe make a mental list, but I don't know that you're going to retain that mental list in the way that you need to. So I would definitely write something down, type up a list, make a game plan, and prioritize, what do I need to do next? Where do I need to go next? What step, what decision needs to happen? And focus on that. And again, ask Archangel Michael. Now you see he's got this kind of cup, if you will, this purple energy. It's almost like blessings are coming to me. This is, higher vibrational energy, that purple crown chakra energy, which is interesting because it goes with the purple amethyst. But that higher vibrational energy and awareness and the blessings from the universe are being given to you or being gifted to you with Archangel Metatron. But you have to prioritize and do the work and take some practical steps. Okay, for those of you that chose, and yet thank you for bearing with me. I have a bit of a sinus thing going on. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. Okay, so the Moonstone people. Let's tune in here and ask for the message for Moonstone. This one's catching my eye, Moonstone people. Chakra clearing. Again, Archangel Metatron is with this one as well. So he's highlighted this week. Chakra clearing. It says, call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. So I feel like, again, a good meditation and balancing, clearing, opening all of your chakras from the root chakra up to the crown chakra is needed. And, they're saying you can also start from the crown chakra and go down to the root chakra. They're saying it doesn't matter. If you go from the root to the crown, you're starting with your sense of security and moving up to this higher awareness. But if you start with the crown chakra, you're letting the energy kind of flow down through the universe and through your chakras and grounding it when you stop at the root chakra. So either way, use your intuition with that. He also, though, is talking about using these geometric shapes. And, the shape that kind of comes into mind as I'm, looking at this is the 6-pointed Star of David. You can kind of see it almost. Part of it is up here in this card. But the 6-pointed Star of David is also called Merkaba, the Merkaba. It's an upward pointing triangle, and it's intersected and connected to a downward pointing triangle, and it's 3-dimensional. So it creates this Merkaba energy. And what's really good about that is that you envision that you're within, in your meditation, visualize that you're within the Merkaba energy. And as the top triangle is spinning around one way and the bottom triangle is spinning around in the opposite way, it creates this vortex of energy. And that vortex of energy is going to help, again, to kind of clear out like a vacuum cleaner all of what is no longer needed within like your chakras or even within your body for that matter. So if there's lower vibrational, thoughts, feelings, emotions, subconscious patterns, whatever it might be, that Merkaba energy, as you're sitting within it and visualizing it in meditation, is going to help to kind of vacuum out and clear away those lower vibrational energies. And again, kind of bring your beingness, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies into a higher state of beingness. And, here he's got his wings outspread, and it's like, I feel like you're going to be much more expansive if you try to do this. You try to do that meditation technique, and you'll feel a lot more expansive and a lot more clear from doing so. And then for those of you that chose the lapis, okay, let's just kind of tune in and ask for the lapis card to kind of pop out for me. Okay, this one. calling my attention. Lapis, life review, and Archangel Jeremiah. And it says, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. What pops into my head when I read that, doing a life review, is that again, we're in the month that deals with Pisces. You know, we're in Pisces now. And Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, the sign of the collective, the sign that of our past lives, you know, and it's like releasing, healing, purging, transmuting these energies so that we ready ourselves for the spring equinox, so that we ready ourselves for that movement into Aries, when the sun moves into Aries and new beginnings. So I feel like with this life review and Archangel Jeremiah, it's a great time to take inventory of your life, of projects, of your business, relationships, and really again resolve to change anything that you know or sense or feel needs to be changed. And this can be about just subconscious patterns within yourself. Perhaps it's not external. Perhaps it's all about your belief systems and the way you're thinking and the way you're viewing yourself and your life. And you know, this is a perfect time to do that healing with Sun and Mercury retrograde here in the sign of Pisces, that last sign of the zodiac. Let me see if there's anything else they want to say here about this. No, I don't feel anything else from that. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Again, thank you for your patience with my voice. I'm glad I got through it okay. And I'm sending you all lots of love and light until we meet again next week, and many, many angel blessings, everyone.